30 frames per second. Spider-Man 2 possible release window in September. What? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. How y'all feeling out there tonight? Six Slayer, my man in the building. What's good, man? How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Just had a weekend of eating, drinking, and debauchery. But the weekend is now over. Back to work. Life is back to normal, yo. It's pretty good.
Games Heroes, how you doing down there, man? How's everything been going with you?
I'm good, man. Finally got off a little early for work. Was working a whole 2 weeks, man. I'm good.
Spart 117, man. How you been, man? How's everything going with you?
I've been really good, just grinding it out, working and taking care of family and girlfriend and making sure everything's on top, on deck. We got the new season 3 of Halo out right now. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, Legal? How's everything with you? How's it been?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm chilling with my homeboys, man. We're live. This is what we do. This is fun stuff. I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute to the chit chat community and everybody out there around the world. I know it's been a minute, but just like my soldiers were saying, man, we're working hard. Some of us have taken trips. I had a daughter, had to do the prom thing, got one trying to graduate. So it's been a whole lot of stuff just going on in reality mode that, we here at Di-RRec Gaming, we just take our time and make sure that when we can form up, we form up and give our audience what they want. If you like what we're about, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Never miss a beat on what Di-RRec Gaming is doing. I see my man, the realist, up in here. He's on his way. What's up, fam? It's good to see you. Yeah, I already sent you the link. Come on in as soon as you're ready. Yo, leave some comments below. Join the show. Get on in the comment section. Join the chit chat community, man. It's a beautiful community. Shouts to everybody out there that supports our channel day in and day out. We can't do it without y'all, man, but we get our energy and we get our excitement from you guys. So we are so internally and externally grateful at the same time. We can't ask for a better audience. So thank y'all once again for everything that y'all do. Y'all hear what's been going on around in these gaming streets, and it's just crazy. A lot of excitement on the Xbox side of things. Not too excited for what I've been hearing, what the possibilities of Sony in this court system. There's a lot of things going on, man, and it's just not looking good. Nintendo on the other end is just Nintendo. It's not really a lot of news popping out for Nintendo, but Nintendo stays under the radar. So, it's really nothing to say. Nintendo's Nintendo. You got to switch. If you don't, then you just don't. Six Slayer, man, what do you think, brother? What's your opinion? And I'm gonna ask all three of y'all before we get this started. This is the same opinion for each and every last one of y'all. I want to ask y'all, what do you feel about Microsoft saying, listen, 10 years is all we're gonna give Sony? If Sony don't want 10 years, man, then tough with it. Look, 10 years is long enough for you to create something to compete with COD. I try to tell people that COD possibly one day may never again be on PlayStation platform because Microsoft wants to do some great things with COD. They don't want to just sit with COD and just have COD to be this traditional first-person shooter that it's known to be. They want to do something with it because they can actually make great campaigns out of it. which has proven itself, especially the last two. Excellent campaign. Not long enough, right? Because they know a lot of people get into the multiplayer. But if Call of Duty ever became this massive campaign shooter, it has hope because it brings a lot of realistic value to the industry that we don't get a chance to experience. So, what's your take on that, Sid?
Well, first off, I think because I think originally Microsoft was offering like 3 or 5 years extension, right? Because we know the Call of Duty deal as it stands with Sony ends next year anyway. It's a key factor to remember as I say what I'm saying, right? Keep that in the back of your mind. It's key, right? So it's like 3 or 5 years, and that was more than enough, you know. That was more than enough. It was pretty much a continuation of the standard, the status quo that Sony was already enjoying, just without the advantage of the content being exclusive for a time, right? Minus that, they still had access to the game and everything, right? They still was going to make the money that they were making for profiting off of the success of the game on their platform, and then using that money, as they admit openly in court documents, to fund their other first-party exclusives, right? This is where they get the funding for that. This is what they're saying. So it's unquestioned now, right? So, I mean, so for Microsoft to then give 10 years, right? Just to show, yo, we really don't care. You can have it, right? There's no debating now. I know a lot of people are tired about this whole Activision deal, blah, blah, blah. But remember what Microsoft had always said, it was going to take this long, right? It had said this from the first day. It was going to take this long. So everybody's acting like it's been 3 years. Like, technically, it's been 2 and a couple months. Like, because remember, it started at the beginning of this year, like January, February, something like that. I forget when exactly, but early in the year, right? When it was first announced. So basically, just it shows that, you know, there's nothing that Sony can say or do, right? Is just what Lulu revealed. Lulu, I forgot her name, Chan, I believe, right? From Activision, right? Said, yo, she quoted what Jim Ryan really said at meetings. He just wants to block the deal. That's it. He doesn't care. And he'd rather not sign the contract, right? To prove that point than signing the contract and having what they want all along. Because they don't want Microsoft to have this deal, right? Now, we're not talking about the deal in itself right now. You just asked me about Call of Duty, but it just goes to show Sony can have what they want when it comes to this, but they just don't want to. They don't want Microsoft to have what they want and or working hard to get. So that's what this is about. It's just that simple.
Good take, brother. Game Serials, what you think about the 10-year max for Call of Duty to be on Sony?
I don't know. Who cares, man? Just make. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. I was eating. So you told me that Sony developers are the best developers in the world. They make the best games in the industry. They're undefeated. We win Gottis every year. Huh. But they can't make a good first-person shooter? That made no damn sense, dude. Like, look, Microsoft bought the damn company. They own the IP. They can the hell they want to do. All right? They can sit down, say, fuck it. Like, I mean, my bad. Like, sit down and say, listen, we don't have to give you this. We own the damn game. If you want Call of Duty, give us God of War. That's basically what it was, right? But Microsoft was playing nice because they saw Call of Duty as a moneymaker. Microsoft don't care about Call of Duty. They have Halo and Gears. Like, it doesn't matter everybody have controversy with Halo. Halo's still a very top shooter right now. It still is of all these years. So, and you know me and Legal play Gears, so we know about Gears. So, the end of the day is that this is Sony's fault. The problem with Sony that they're the problem with Sony is that they don't have a real, I would say, a community or fan base, right? Because think about it, right? A lot of people who own a PS4, right? They used to own a 360. I repeat this all the time, right? A lot of people who own a PS4, they own a 360. They never own a PlayStation 3, right? A lot of people never really own that because the PS3 wasn't that popular in North America. So majority of these dudes who own a 360, they used to play Call of Duty. Yeah, some of them used to play Halo and Gears, mostly Call of Duty, right? So so when Sony was heavily focused on multiplayer during the PS3 era, like Killzone, Mag, Warhawk, Starhawk, Resistance, Soulcom, Twisted Metal, you name it, right? They were heavy on multiplayer. The problem is all these games I just mentioned, it ain't supported. Nobody supported these games. And one of these games, nobody supported the games. What did Sony try to do? They trying to fund their next big hit. They tried. Little Big Planet, yeah, it was a good game, but that was not even a hit. Nobody could care less about that. So all of these games.
Hey, James, not to interrupt you, but real quick, just remember in your mind at the very end when you finish speaking about this, I want to ask you about the fact that PlayStation gamers aren't buying their games in the amounts that they've been claiming all this time, because that too was in the document, saying that's related to what you're talking about.
Oh no. A lot of them don't buy the games because you understand, right? A lot of these PlayStation gamers, right? They're casual gamers, right? And there's nothing wrong with being a casual gamer because I don't hate casual gaming. If you're a casual gamer, that's more power to you, dude. But
it got the industry to be as big as it is off the back of casual gaming. We can't ignore them.
Yeah. So they're mostly all these PlayStation gamers are all casual gamers. That means when they beat God of War, they're gonna play Call of Duty. That's it. They don't really play a lot of games outside of their first person, story, third person, over the shoulder games, and they never play, outside with Call of Duty. So that's the problem. So go ahead, 6 guy. Somebody call me.
Actually, I was asking you that, but you already answered it. So I guess, yeah, Spartan, your turn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
As for the Microsoft and Activision deal, it's an amazing deal. They have given Sony plenty of opportunities to sign the deal. They've given them all the options in the world to sign the deal. Sony's part, they failed on getting and purchasing, doing the acquisition with Activision. That hit them blind-signed it. And that's where all this, little hiss fits coming through. They want to block the merger. They didn't see that coming whatsoever. So the deal is a deal. It's going through. And whether they like it or not, you either sign on the dotted line and be equal and have fun. If not, then we'll pull all your shit off the shelf and you go and sit there and play with Sackboy and Spiderman and Wolverine and Gears of War, whatever God of War they have over there. They're lacking real first-person shooters on their side right now. And right now they're crumbling. They're dry. They've got no games, nothing. I'm all for it, and I agree with it, and I wish both parties the best. And here you go, Microsoft. They're changing the gaming industry, and they're showing it right here, right now, and it's unfolding in everyone's faces, and it's blown up everywhere. They're in a stop fighting it stage right now, and we're just gonna have to sit there and watch them all cry, and that's all there is to it. There's a bunch of crybabies on Twitter. There's a bunch of crybabies at Sony. Of course, you could tell Jim Ryan crying right now, wasting all his fan base's money, using private jets to fly to Brussels and getting nothing out of it. He's just burning people's money into fuel. It's a great deal, and I'm all up.
Burning bridges too.
They're done. They're done with that. I mean, when you sit there and you put Call of Duty and Destiny, yet they're not even your own first-party exclusive. You treat them as first-party exclusive, then such things happens like this. Then you show true colors. Of course, it's going to be burning bridges right now. Do you think Activision is going to sit there and entertain Sony like the way that they were being entertained since 2014? No. It's game over. Whatever happens, um, it's they've marred themselves as a brand. Jim Ryan, what he's done, he's marred Sony as a brand. It's not the same anymore. I don't think many people want to go there and be all comfortable with Sony sitting there offering what, when they're sitting there mentally abusing not only their fan base themselves and the people that sit there and give them all this luxury, exclusivity, um, parity, all everything. So it's right now loss for Sony and a big win for Microsoft.
Yeah,
Good
that's
one.
true.
Yeah, realist, come on in. I just giving everybody a chance to say they part on
Expound
what
on
do you
knowing
think,
everything.
yeah, what do you think the 10-year max for what Microsoft is giving Sony, the 10-year max for COD, and that's it, man. And it's just the bottom line. And then Resident Gamer, you can get the last call on it, man. Go ahead, realist.
First off, what's up to the panel? I mean, we talked about this so much. I'm so glad that this is going down to the home stretch. But like going back to what Game Hero said, back in the PS3 era, PlayStation was in a position where they had to fight their way out of a hole, and they were full of hope at that time, right? So you saw them bring all kinds of multiplayer games, compete, trying to bring attention back to their platform. Once they realized that they couldn't, I guess, win, then they just went ahead to say, let's see if we can have Call of Duty. Once they established that they got once they established a exclusivity agreement or a marketing deal with Call of Duty, they pretty much did away with anything that would compete with it. And that's a fault of their own, right? Now, I hope Activision didn't kind of do them like EA did Microsoft back in the day with the sports games and say, if you want Madden on Xbox, then no more Fever, no more, what was it, Full Court or whatever? Maybe that was Nintendo. But I hope so. I hope that Activision didn't tell them that, because that would be the only reason that Sony would have an excuse, as far as I'm concerned. But if Activision had nothing to do with it, it's all on Sony, because Sony should have invested in their own games. They are the only ones who invest hundreds of millions of dollars in other people's IP, building other people's brands, trying to act as if it's theirs, right? Because if you look at their marketing, they've been reprimanded for misleading marketing. They try to lead the consumer into believing that they can only play certain games on PlayStation once they get a marketing deal. I mean, Hogwarts probably the latest one. So Microsoft gave them a 10-year deal, and I think that Sadia was pretty plain when he said, "Let us compete." Because like I said before, I keep saying it, no matter what, we kept getting Halo games. Call of Duty would come, pretty much take over, but Halo still came. It didn't outsell Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure that they didn't expect it to either, but they kept bringing a Halo game. Now we still have a Halo. The brand is still building. TV shows. I mean, Sony could be in that same position with some of their games instead of just being about the drama games that they make. What is it, Uncharted and The Last of Us? So 10 years is more than enough time for Sony to put that same energy into a game or IP that they own that they put into Activision. Now, I don't think that it's going to leave PlayStation, because this is way bigger than Call of Duty for Microsoft. But if they don't act right, if they do something to and this is what I told y'all when it first started, this is leverage. Microsoft getting Activision. See, before they started buying studios, Phil said, we don't want to buy content to keep it off other platforms. Those was warning shots. So then now you got Microsoft with this leverage. Let them keep buying these timed exclusivity deals. The biggest game on their platform is now owned by their biggest competitor. Let's see if they keep playing the game dirty the way they've been playing it all these years. I don't think they will, because after 10 years, I'm pretty much guaranteed that any IP they come up with will not be able to overtake the consciousness of Call of Duty in their player base, in their player base's psyche.
Yo, realist, I disagree in an odd way. I disagree. In fact, I think they have a bigger reason, right?
You disagree with what though?
I don't disagree as to why. I think there's an even bigger reason as to why. Right?
Why what though?
Because why Sony won't be able to continue on acting as they have after this has happened now, right? And I think that's because now with everything that's been going on with the CMA and all these documents and statements have been made by Sony and Microsoft and even the CMA themselves, for them to go back after this is over with, no matter if Microsoft buys them or not, Sony cannot continue to act in the way they have because it'll be open for all to see now, right?
But it's always been open. It's just that Sony and Microsoft both know they're dealing with ignorant arbiters. So,
right,
and this has nothing to do with like antitrust. The fact that they will buy an exclusivity deal that has nothing because they're not buying a company, and that's.
No, but what I'm saying is that like Sony won't be able to act this way because now every time they do it, like you can't help but, or at least see in the back of your mind, or if not outright mention how this affects other platforms, whatever move they make. Let's say the next episode of Final Fantasy VII's remake, right? Like they can't make that exclusive for whatever period of time without everybody wondering, okay, Sony's doing it again. It's getting tiring now. Now it's becoming a bit of an L every time they do it now.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. So you gotta understand, right? The media is very powerful, right? You see, like when you have commercials and everything, like what the realist says, like put it like you ever watch like these commercials? You see the Hogwarts and the end of the commercials said, PlayStation. There's idiots out there think that Hogwarts is a PlayStation only game.
Doubt. Right,
yeah, I wouldn't call them ignorant idiots.
No, they're not idiots. They just don't know. They're ignorant. Right? They don't know. They're ignorant. They don't know. Right? They're casual.
Yeah, they're ignorant.
Right.
Yeah. But see, Sony knows that they deal with a casual audience, a mostly casual audience. That's why their hardcore fans are only around 22 million per game, right? And that's the highest. They know they're dealing with a casual fan base.
They don't need to cater to the core base because we're only a fraction of the total player base of what they can gain revenue wise, profit wise. So they don't really. I mean, they care about us, but their main focus is more the casual base.
That's why I said.
Good point.
No. This is what I said. A lot of these PlayStation fanboys, they're the most casual gamers ever. Because think about it, realist. When they finish God of War, what do you think they're gonna play after God of War? They're gonna play Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, Madden, 2K.
Madden, 2K. See, we Xbox gamers, yeah, we play Madden and 2K, but we also play our multiplayer games. Gears is huge, Halo's huge, Forza is huge, right? Look, listen. People make fun of Sea of Thieves, right? You can call it garbage, trash, whatever you want to call it, right? That game got a 69 on Metacritic. And that game got over 40 million players. And right now, they're probably at season, I don't know, season 7, season 8. So they're doing something.
Yeah,
right?
Right. 34 million players?
Yeah, 34 million players.
Yeah.
So, and that's like in the top 50 most playing game on Xbox, right? I think that game has more. I'm looking at the most playing game on Xbox right now. Like Sea of Thieves has more players than the base called the original Modern Warfare. Like it has a lot of people playing this right now. So we Xbox gamers, we play our multiplayer games. Like you can sit down and hate Halo, but Halo right now is in the top 15, most playing games. So it's just that if you look at the top 50 most playing games on PlayStation, none of the like God of War is probably number 10, number 11. If you saw the top 20 or top 15, it's all third party, like Call of Duty, FIFA,
Minecraft,
Minecraft. Shit, Fortnite, Call of Duty,
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends. Like they're the most casual gamers. Like I gotta understand, like, you know, most of these dudes, like we battle on Twitter Spaces, Resident and Twitter all day. Like if you ask all of these dudes, right, you have owned a 360. Of course, they did own a 360. All right, because they're not really PlayStation gamers. They were most of them went to the PS2, went to the 360, then we went back to the PS4. And some of them actually going back to the Xbox. Realist, I heard one doing a spaces today. I was in the listen to browser. He said he bought an Xbox for say Starfield. So, you know, some of them was trying to go back. He said, "Yeah, I never owned an Xbox since the 360 days."
You know what's funny is Legal is always asking them like, "Where's the gameplay?" And they don't ever have any gameplay, dude. They
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like we all the hardcore gamers, but you know, Sony's doing. Listen, I'm not hating on Sony what they're doing. It's printing money. It's printing money, dude. Like they've been doing this for since what, like years. Like it's like they're the market leader. It worked, right? But what Microsoft says, like Microsoft said literally today, you have 10 years enough of Sony to develop a rival offering to Call of Duty franchise. They're right. But see, the problem is, right? Let's say they bring back Resistance.
well, games. Right? Remember, they've tried multiple times and they've failed.
I know. But let's say they bring back Resistance, right? Well, let's say, okay, here's Resistance, right? These same dudes who play Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted, The Last of Us, all of these games, right? Right? Who never really owned a PS3. They went to the 360, the PS4, and they bought their console late in that generation. Never played SoulCon or whatever. Do you think these same people is going to invest in a new Resistance game? No, they're not. The game would die in less than 2 weeks. Like it's been proven. So, and that's why Sony Bend Studios actually pitched for another Resistance game before they did with Days Gone. And Sony said no. We're not doing that. And they went to Days Gone. And Days Gone suffers because Days Gone was playing loop just like The Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima, all these third person over the shoulder games. And it was the weakest one in the whole bunch last generation. So that's why Sony said, okay, we're not going to make Resistance and Killzone and SOCOM. We're just going to bank on third-party deals. Now, really mean this, right? If you want to bank on third-party games, right, why these Sony fanboys want Microsoft to make good single-player games? Is that what third-party for? Assassin's Creed and et cetera, et cetera. So it's like a hypocrite both Sony fanboys, right? So the end of the day is, right, I don't blame Microsoft saying that, but also I don't really blame Sony trying to fight the deal because, if they lose Call of Duty Resident,
lifeblood.
If they lose Call of Duty, they lose a lot of people, dude. They're going to lose about 40% of their fan base. Because when they got that marketed deal, it was a large amount of Call of Duty fans just went back to that back to the PlayStation 4. Why, Realist? Because
Game Zero, let me ask you a quick yes or no question then, right?
Mm-hmm.
After all you said, despite what's been happening, do you think eventually, before this is over or when this is finally over, because I assume Microsoft will still have the offer out, right? Because it's still money, right?
Yeah.
Will Sony eventually sign the deal?
No,
okay.
they don't want the deal at all.
No. But when push comes to shove and they've lost and everything's over, will they still sign the deal or just not have Call of Duty?
No. I'm gonna tell you why. They don't have to sign the deal. If they don't sign the deal, Microsoft owns the IP. So they could do the hell they want to do. So the end of the day is, okay, they don't have to. But
And they don't want to be locked in a contract with Microsoft. Certainly not.
Exactly. They don't want me to lock in a contract.
But what it is,
I didn't ask you what they want, but what will they do?
But they don't have to. They
Oh,
don't
what
have
the
to sign.
They're
they
just
don't-
going to let it play out. They're going to let it play out and see how it goes.
Well, he's saying when all of that is said and done,
when all that's done,
they still do not have to sign a contract. Why?
Right.
Because Microsoft as a company has been a white knight for about 15 years.
Yep.
So what is Microsoft going to do? Microsoft is going to do everything they said they would do, even without a contract. Because why? Satya told y'all months ago they're not finished. So why would you go and take it away just because Sony didn't want to act right? Right? They're not going to do anything to upset the regulators for the next acquisition, because they already said they're not through, and they still have about $80 billion burned a hole in their pockets.
And
There will be another acquisition.
Sony's already overstepped their bounds as it is too.
Yeah, they abuse their everything, and the funny part is they don't take this deal. They still have a contract left with Activision. The funniest part is going to be
expires next year.
Yeah, the funniest part is going to be only on PlayStation until that contract finishes, and that's it. And they're still going to make donkeys out of themselves. That's going to be funny.
So just to sum up, all of you are saying no, but realize not only you're saying no, you're saying that Microsoft will still give them access to the game without a contract. Just no.
They'll give them access to the game. They give them feature parity, like they said, just like they offered in the contract, because they have to look good. I've been telling y'all that when y'all been taking a dump on Phil, saying that he wasn't aggressive enough. They are still in the market because like I said before, Activision was never the target. Activision made themselves the target.
It's just
because they already had acquisitions that they were in the crosshairs. Activision came across and they said, let's table this for later, because you remember they wanted WB. And WB raised the price up. So it's not about the money if you got $68 billion to throw at Activision. So there are other deals in the making, and they don't need them to say anything. They just need them to say, yeah, if you've done well in the past, you have a good history, let's go. Microsoft is trying to build goodwill with regulators and us as consumers.
And Sony shouldn't worry whatsoever as well. They've got 120 million fan base with 30 million PS5 sold. So what's their concerns, right? They're getting everything that they want, and they ask for too.
Microsoft's playing chess, not checkers, right? They're thinking ahead. What they're thinking is, like, right now with the console base, how much can really their Game Pass subscription grow, really? If they expand it, though, to PC and mobile, which is, we just saw that article that was announced that they're actually going to open a store, an own store themselves next year. I told you guys, like, this is what they've always been building towards, that ecosystem they keep talking about, to accessing Game Pass and Xbox games from any device, anywhere, from any platform. I think that's their ultimate goal. And, like, if you look at the potential with all the different markets, the Game Pass growth, when they get BattleNet and then they get Candy Crush, they could introduce Call of Duty Mobile to the platform when the app launches. There's a lot of things that they can
World of Warcraft, the console.
World of Warcraft,
have a
Crash Bandicoot,
right now,
like all the different Activision properties, like Overwatch Mobile, they can introduce to the platform. Like, there's so much potential that, like, a lot of people don't realize, and I think Sony does realize the potential that Microsoft has, especially with the money that they have with their backing. So that's primarily one of the reasons why they're afraid, and not just that. It's also because of Call of Duty, like you guys said, because I always had the theory that they heavily relied on their third party to fund their first party. But when I saw this, how much they've been fighting it, how hard, to the point where Jimmy Flying Lion Crying Ryan flew all the way to Brussels twice. That's unheard of. That's unheard of in gaming history. I've never heard of a head of a gaming studio fly to talk to the regulators about a business deal about another company that has nothing to do with them. I'm sure they're competition, but Microsoft has never interfered with their Activisions, with their deals. So why all of a sudden now? Think about that. It's not just the deal. It's the potential behind the deal, the future of the deal. That's what Sony's afraid of.
But look, man, these guys told me that Sony studios are the most talented studios in the world, right? Why the hell did they
They
make the whole goddamn first person shooter, man?
they
Look,
are,
man,
but
if you did,
Sony plays it safe. You guys know this. Like they've done this
look,
since the beginning.
Okay, okay,
They
Resident.
don't want to invest in creativity, right? Oh, sorry, real. Go ahead. Legal, go
No,
ahead.
you good. Resident, I'm coming off the top rope, right behind you. I'm coming off the top rope. I'm about to drop this elbow. Look, all y'all had great takes. Love it all, right? Every last one of y'all on it. Here's the thing. Microsoft is all about the dotted line and the signature. Why? Because Sony, it's your time to taste your own medicine. What's the game that's got you crying? Call of Duty. Now, everybody just caught amnesia. Why is Call of Duty so important to Sony? Wow. Well, we just found out a few weeks ago that Sony depends on Call of Duty to fund their first party games. This whole notion that Sony is taking care of business has been the greatest myth in gaming history. They ain't been taking care of nothing. They're good at shutting down shit. Tell me if I'm lying. They're good at shutting down, packing up, and relocating. If they can't do that, they bagging it up, boys, and they shutting shit down. Say I'm lying. I
And
got
they've done
all the
it,
proof in the pudding.
and they've done
That's
it
what
multiple
Sony's good
times
at.
too. Yep.
That's what Sony's good at. Nobody's playing games with Sony no more. Oh, what you mean, legal? Well, listen to this. Everybody's got a problem now. All these donkeys want to grab a microphone and start crying today about what's going on with the CMA, what's going on with court, what's FTC, and all this stuff that they really don't know nothing about. Everybody out here is fronting. I'm here to tell the truth, right? I don't know this court stuff. I don't know none of this court stuff. I'm just the bottom liner. All I know is the ABK deal is going to go through. All this other legal allegations and all this court paper talk stuff, I don't know nothing about. But here's what I will tell you. The ABK deal is going through. Now you got all these donkeys out here grabbing mics, right? Crying and whining to their fan base. Because let's just be for real. What else are they going to do? You only got two options right now. See, now I'm loving it because all these years y'all avoided me, right? But see, I've already put the pieces together, Resident. They have to come this way now. You got to come and face legal now. All of y'all, don't think I'm playing. Soon as this deal come through, I'm tagging a whole bunch of names. Y'all already know who y'all are. If you don't, I'm going to line you up anyway. Day of Atonement is coming. All this talking, you got to show something for all this talking. Because the Xbox community, we here. Ain't no more of this funny stuff, man. All this goofy, corny stuff. Realist Gaming, the most beautiful definition of y'all. Y'all are goofy. The real gamers are about to emerge. All this doom and gloom, all this windshield wiping shit, all this playing emotional tactics with your viewers, all this, oh, I don't want to say this because I don't want to lose my handout. I need to review a game. All this dumb shit. Bro, come on, bro. We ain't about none of that. We here, we buy our games, we play them. We ain't here to, we're not institutionalized by nobody. We are who we are. If you don't like us, man, move on. But don't think any of them YouTubers are messing with any of us. You don't want to see this lineage right here. It's more than just 6 of us, man. Y'all don't want to line nobody up against us, bro. And the tires are hitting the concrete, and we're going to leave our imprint. When it's all said and done, everybody's going to know we never lied to y'all. Y'all want to talk about contracts? Y'all want to talk about 10 years? That's nothing. Sony's the king of contracts. Bro, Crash Bandicoot was a slave on the Sony brand for 20 years. You had people out here thinking Crash Bandicoot belonged to Sony. That's how dumb they were, because Sony's contracts went 2 decades. Here's Microsoft talking about 3 years. Well, you had Snitchy Boy revealing that because he got mad at Phil. Phil, first option was, hey, we're going to honor what's already out there, and then we're going to extend it. We didn't know what the extension was until Jim Ryan came out snitching on Phil. Jim Ryan did that. He told everybody, Phil said 3 years, and that's a wrap. We was all like, wait, what? Phil? Phil gave the dude 3 years. So then, when it all started going back to courts and stuff, Phil said, okay, better yet, I'll tell y'all what. We're going to give Sony 10 years. Sony cried about the 10-year. Now, why do you think Sony cried about that 10-year? Because there's no ownership. It doesn't matter. Sony wants ownership. They want to market Call of Duty. Why? So that the people stay ignorant of how they maneuver. This is
They want
all
the pie
about the
and to
myths.
eat it too, right,
This is
bro?
all about the myths. This is all about the smoke and mirrors. Like I told y'all, this is all about their persona of not being in second. Y'all need to do y'all research about Sony. That's the problem with a lot of you donkeys. Y'all don't like to face the facts. Y'all don't like to face the truths. All you little mascots out there running around for the Sony fan base, y'all been lying to your community. Y'all don't even tell them the truth.
That's the reason
Y'all
about
a
why I
bunch of
asked about the
cowards out
10
here.
years thing, if they're going to sign the contract or not. Because
Dude,
I feel like if they sign the contract, it's like Game Pass being on PlayStation. That's like them waving a white flag. It's over already. at that point.
right, really?
They're not going to sign the court,
Right.
the contract, because what
Facts.
Willa says is true. They don't
They
need the
got
contract.
their
Microsoft is
chest
not going
out.
to leave that easy money on the table and just lock them out and do
Right. How you
the
gonna,
the
right.
heartless thing, right? Because
Right.
if it was me, I would seriously consider that. Would I do it? I honestly do not know, but I would seriously consider it. But I don't
Six
think
Slayer.
Phil is even,
Look how big
because
this
that's the
is,
nuclear
right?
option. Because that would
That's
be the
right.
nuclear option, and they're not going to do that.
Six Slayer, look how big this is, right? Microsoft literally has the #1 brand in the market bowing down to them. I want everybody to chill for a minute and just think about that. Let that sink in for a minute. Big Bank got the #1 brand, the #1 gaming brand in the world on its knees right now. Done broke its legs, right? And they told them, look, 10 years, look, are y'all forgetting what Phil said? Phil said this. We went back and talked to Sony. He already told y'all what they thought. He said, we went back and talked to Sony. For some reason, Jim Ryan thinks Call of Duty should stay on a platform. Look what he said. Remember, Realist, we talked about that. But I already said it way before it even came out. I said, Realist, the problem is Sony wants Phil to say Call of Duty will stay on the platform forever. Did I not say that?
They treat it like
now,
it's their own, like Call of Duty
right,
is theirs.
because right. It's not the fact that it's not theirs. It's the deception. It's the perception that it's them. That's the whole point.
Hey, listen. I remember in 2012, 15, right? Like this is when like Xbox had the games and everything, right? Because people forgot that Xbox had better games than PlayStation the first 4 years of the life cycle, right? And Andrew House was the president of Sony that time, right? Then this is when Uncharted got delayed the 3rd time. And he came out and says that our first party is sparse. And because they didn't have anything the holiday. Like they didn't do it. I have articles saying that. I'm not lying to you. This is 100% true. Then E3 came in, right? And the first thing they showed was, I think what Call of Duty came out. It was Black Ops 3 or something. And he says, Call of Duty is home. That's it. And he was so excited because he knew that if you bring all the casuals, right, legal, to his platform, the Call of Duty players Like my little brother is a Call of Duty player and everything, right? You bring all of these dudes in that platform. More people are going to buy a PlayStation. Not because of Ghost of Tsushima or God of War, because of, Call of Duty. And that game gave them a lot of revenue. Because think about it, right? During the 360 era, Microsoft did the same thing too. They was back on Call of Duty also. That's why Microsoft got the marketing rights. They had the map packs first. Tournaments would play with Call of Duty on Xbox and everything. But see, Microsoft did establish a shooter. It was called Halo. Microsoft doesn't really care about Call of Duty, right? But see, what really said, like in the PS3 era, they was making multiplayer games. But I say that most of these multiplayer games flop because majority of these PlayStation gamers are not really PlayStation gamers. Like they're 360 gamers. So games like to bring back Killzone this day and age, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of people are not going to support that. They used to make a game called Mag. Like that was ahead of its time. 256 players on one map. Nobody support that. Many people, real PlayStation gamers, been begging Sony for another SOCOM game for years. I told them, like, who's gonna make it? Oh, I heard some rumors that SOCOM was gonna be a launch title for the PS5. They laugh at me and say that's not gonna happen. And they laugh at me, and I was right. And we're in 2023. I still don't see that SOCOM game was rumored. Like, oh, but Guerrilla Games hire some dude from Ubisoft who made what's a game called Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, so what? That doesn't mean nothing. Like, doesn't mean, oh, but Guerrilla Games got two teams. So all this here is false, man. They don't have anything. They're not. I blame the fan base, dude. That's my opinion. Let's blame them, dude. You don't want change, that's your problem. That's the problem. They let Sony making these third person over the shoulder games instead of, change their game and make some variety of games. Because remember, the PS3 had a lot of variety of games. But then nobody supported these games, dude. But they found their niche. And that niche was the third person over the shoulder game because a one game sold pretty well. It was The Last of Us. And I think The Last of Us cursed the PlayStation brand forever. Because when The Last of Us came out, it was successful. The game got a 95 on Metacritic. It won multiple Game of the Awards. People love it. It sold over 5 million copies. I think The Last of Us was like the highest PlayStation selling exclusive that generation. And that's why all their studios started making these third person over the shoulder games. Guerrilla Games went to Killzone to the Horizon. Sucker Punch made Infamous to Ghost of Tsushima. Like Ben Studio never made a goddamn game in the PS3 era. They decided to make a very generic zombie game. So it's just that
Games Heroes. Look, man. I'm an Xbox dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't like to look. These studios, they needed money. They let Sony buy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You thought of the generics zombie game, and I think you said you haven't played it. What they tried to do with that game,
and I did play it.
Yeah, what they tried to do with that game was huge, right? They it was just a step beneath what Capcom did with what's the zombie game they made? Dead Rising, where nobody had the same face. The amount of zombies that they were able to put on the screen, that was a marvel in itself, right? If that was on Xbox, we would be playing it, right? Because those guys didn't play it. It doesn't make it a bad game. If Xbox had that studio, we'd be playing a sequel, right? Because what are they doing right now? They're not even making a game right now. They were being a support studio, and the reason why Sony, you got to give them their card for this. They knew that they couldn't compete anywhere else, so they went and created something that they could do all by themselves, which is make movie games. They're not for me, but as far as movie games go, they make the best movie games. You know what I mean? to me, what they've done is they've taken the JRPG formula and Americanized it. Make a heavy story-based game, but give it pretty graphics instead of pixel graphics like Octopath Traveler or something like that.
First of all, I actually disagree. I think Rockstar still make better games.
They don't make movie games, right? The closest thing to a movie game that they have is Red Dead Redemption. And that just so happened to look so good, right? But that's Rockstar. And, you know, like when people say that Sony has the best, we know that's just fanboys.
Oh yeah, they don't.
Because honestly, when it comes to crafting open worlds and having them look pretty and be detailed, nobody's touching Rockstar.
Nobody's not touching Rockstar, dude.
Yeah, nobody's touching Rockstar. Yeah. But I believe that Xbox has the studios and told the capacity to challenge a Rockstar when we see Fable, right? That's what I was telling y'all. Like, I wish that Fable could have dropped alongside of the Horizon game. Because to me, the game
Bethesda challenges Rockstar.
When it comes to making games that are pretty, to me, no, Bethesda is number one.
True.
Like I'm a Bethesda dude. Like even before Microsoft bought them, like I'm a Bethesda guy. But like when it comes to having pretty games, like Bethesda isn't known for this. This is why when you look at Starfield and what they're doing with Starfield, you look at these new shots and you look at their that planet that looks like looks alive with the trees and the grass. You see what they can do with next gen technology, but their games aren't predicated on looking pretty. And that's why, like, I forgot whose show we were on, but I was like, who does it like Bethesda? Nobody. This is why I don't understand why we give these guys any energy when they say something bad about Starfield, because we know if this game is going to be on PlayStation, they'd be hyped for it too.
Yeah, they're praising it right now.
Yeah. So hey, it is what it is, but I don't like to say bad things about stuff because I find myself defending like Xbox games too much. You know what I mean? And then it was like, you know what? I'm done defending these games because, man, if you look at my playtime, you know I like them. I got 200 some hours in State of Decay 2. You know what I mean? I just like zombies, period. Dying Light, 100 something hours. Legal and I ran through the game. I'm down to run through with anybody else. That's how much I like the game. When Dead Island comes out, I'm on that day one. You know, so, but if I had to say though, it didn't execute on a lot of levels, but I wouldn't call it quite generic. They tried to do something that nobody else was doing. And we're gonna see what Dead Island looks like when it comes. And I haven't seen any game like it that had like hundreds of zombies chasing you.
So you like zombie games?
I like zombies, vampires, werewolves. That's why I'm day one. Everything's getting put to the side when Redfall drops.
That is gonna be nuts.
Redfall's gonna be huge.
Yeah, I'm neutral.
Yeah, guys, only a month and what 5, 6, 7 days coming out.
Yeah, almost
dropping in hot.
But I'm neutral with zombie games. Like I will try. I didn't like State of Decay 1, but I never played the second one. I will put
on this one games. You're downloading this one, and you're gonna be having fun with this.
Yeah,
sure of everything.
I'm just neutral with zombie games. Like I'm definitely one down Dead Island. I'm trying to get the game early, get a review, but I don't hate zombie games, but in the 360 era, it was like way too many zombie games.
Man, that's what State of Decay came out, bro. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Base building, community management. Yeah.
Yeah, it was way too, the whole Xbox, the whole like industry was saturated with zombie games like Dead Island and Dead Rising and
but games, I agree with you that you know it's
The Last of Us is a zombie game.
Yeah, but see, it's a movie game. And it has a good story whether you like the game or not. And that's my problem with Sony games is you find yourself me, at least I do, I find myself powering through the gameplay to get through the story. And that's not really why I play games. I play games to play games and have fun. But you're right, Game Heroes, you know, but it's Sony. Sony's trained them to be Call of Duty, FIFA, Fortnite players, Call of Duty, fans. They market that heavy, right? They market those games tougher than they market their own games. Even Deathloop, they marketed more than their own game.
Oh man!
Even Ghostwire, they marketed like I saw Sony fans complaining that there were too many Deathloop advertisements.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but you know why, right? It keeps up the mystique, right? That these are exclusive, that they're not on the other platform. All those games you mentioned, all of them. That's the point.
Funny though, that game flopped though. Ghostwire Tokyo.
All these exclusives and all this rah.
Yeah, I never seen anybody
in these documents. They're not selling, like they're not buying at the percentages that's required.
But I never see.
Sony's got to do a better job. They gotta. And this real quick. This is what Game Pass is doing for Xbox consumers. There are games I haven't heard anybody that talks about gaming say that they haven't tried something that they wouldn't normally play in Game Pass. Right? Forza. I don't normally buy Forza day one, but since I played Forza Horizon 5, and if it wasn't in Game Pass, let's just say that they did like a Sony and they said we're going to put it in next year, I would have bought Motorsport day one because of how much fun I had playing. It's just so many games that I wouldn't normally play that I'm playing in Game Pass, and Xbox can take chances on games, right? I don't want to say like Microsoft just has these big huge balls and they throw them on the table with every game. Everybody's playing it safe. Why do you think we get 15 Mario games every year, 20 Pokemon games over the course of 5 years? Because everybody's playing it safe, but now Microsoft doesn't have to play it safe. And that's why we get games like Hi-Fi Rush, Redfall, right? Redfall would have dropped without Game Pass and sold 2 million copies. You know, because it bothers me like a studio like Arcane can bring out a good game, hell, even Pentiment. But you know that's incredibly niche. I'm not even going to play around with that one. But like when Arcane drops a game, and they all pretty much flop. And every one of their games are critically acclaimed, right? From Prey, you had Dishonored 1 and 2, Deathloop came out, won awards, but people didn't get out there and buy it.
Do you play Prey?
I didn't beat it, but yeah, I played it.
I played a little bit. I didn't have 360 one time. My brother did. I played a little bit.
I was trying to think of Prey.
I didn't like it though, because it's not a bad game. It's like a spiritual successor of System Shock. But I really want the original. And this is one thing about Microsoft now. They own Bethesda now, right? So this is no excuse. Look, man, I'm pushing a campaign. Right now.
Games, Eli, let me ask you, that tweet by Phil that he said he had to go back and beat Hellblade 1, do you think that means that we're going to get Hellblade 2 at the end of this year?
No.
Right after Starfield.
No, because see, we still have to get Motorsport in there somewhere.
It's going to be July for Motorsport. Come on, that makes sense. July for Motorsport.
I don't think that will happen.
I think at a minimum we'll hear about part 2.
Yeah, I think they're gonna show more gameplay at the Game Awards. Then after that, they probably have a release date.
Well, it was a question to the realist. My bad, realist.
No,
I was just gonna say that I think that we're gonna hear about. I think we're gonna hear about what's the game? Hellblade at the next 12-month showcase, not this year, but next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be the next 12 months because, like, I heard it's coming out between January to June next year. Now it could miss the date.
What about Avowed though? Avowed.
But you gotta understand, right? But you gotta understand, right? Like, Hellblade 1 was not a AAA game. Now, I want to know semantics here. Oh,
hear me and hear me clear, nigga.
Yeah, you can. What's up, J-Rock?
It was a high quality double A, but almost.
Yeah, it was a high quality double. It's an independent AAA game, but there's no such thing as independent AAA.
The live service game is gonna be a hot pack of ass. I'm telling you right now.
Oh man!
But J-Rock, they could be great, and them dudes not gonna play it. That's the problem.
Yeah. But
Sony is hoping that the PC community could get them excited. That's why they're gonna bring the multiplayer games to PC day one.
Realist, the only way they're playing it for at least a week is if it gets a 90+ on Metacritic. These guys are Metacritic gamers. Those guys are Metacritic
That's why I bought the
gamers.
controller, Realist.
But
my
they'll play
PC.
they'll play Call of Duty if it hits a 60. They don't care. They don't.
No,
care.
but no, I'm not saying about
but
Hellblade.
Sony has nobody but themselves to blame because they train their fan base to play games that way.
Yeah, but hold on. So let's talk about Hellblade real quick. So the first one was like an independent AAA game. There's no such thing. So it was a double A game with high quality budget. It was like a $10 million plan, right? So that game came out in 2018, right? For the PS4 and PC, got ported to the Switch and then Xbox later down the road, blah, blah, blah. So they start production around, I would say 2020, late 2019, 20, early 2020. So, and this is a AAA game now. So they got the budget, really. This time they got unlimited budget.
Of course they got the budget,
now,
but they also increased the manpower, so that increases the budget. They made Hellblade with like 20 people.
20 people, yeah. So now they have a lot of people in the studios and everything. So I think 2024, 25.
And even with that small team, they were still known as one of the better, if not the best, mocap studios.
Yeah, I would think Hellblade 2024, late 2024, but it could push back to 2025.
It better not. It better not. It better not. It better not. Game Heroes, I'm telling you, it better not.
I'm expecting.
Don't show me something in 2018 is gonna come out in 2025, bro.
Crazy.
Like February next year, I'm expecting.
2020.
Yeah.
No, remember, really, they didn't start the game around 2019.
I don't know when they started, but I know when they showed it, and they showed it at that Keeley show launch. So a year before launch in 2019.
They announced it as a surprise. So they still specifically stated that game is gonna fully utilize Xbox Series X's power. So
and they're gonna use on. Hey J bro, not like this, J bro. This man, J bro, you funny man.
Hey bro.
What up, Rob?
These ponies wilding on Twitter.
This
man said, hey,
yeah, they are.
Says, Spider-Man's an alternative to Starfield. I said, where? We leaving the boroughs?
Spider-Man versus Starfield, September.
Leave the boroughs. First of all,
said
they need to put all the boroughs in it first. Then
hey, no. Somebody says it's been confirmed. We're going to Staten Island. I said, man, Game said, okay, show me proof. He said in the trailer.
Man,
you can see on the wall it says 718.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me that they think Starfield gonna try to get out of the way of Spider-Man.
Hey Jay, we live in New York City. You know 718 is not really Staten Island, right?
Hey bro, 718-347, all that, man. That's not exclusive to any borough out here, bro.
Brooklyn. Oh yeah, now it's all mixed up. But back in the day, 718 was Brooklyn and the Bronx, but now it's all over.
I just want to know why Sony ain't dropping dates. In the beginning of this year,
an alternative.
No roadmap,
Game Heroes will tell you why they ain't dropping no date.
Hey, J-Rock, I'm going to type right now. 718 is also in Queens because I live in Queens. I got a 718.
It's an area code show.
Yeah, hey bro.
Tell them why they won't drop no dates, Game Heroes.
Right, where's the dates? Where the footage at, man? It's coming out the same month as Starfield, right? It's coming out the same month as Starfield, right? Yeah, we don't have no footage, no nothing. We don't have no details. None of these industry pundits could come out there, go to the studios and get some information. We don't have no news or no abilities, no nothing.
Yo,
it's not a problem, right?
I don't know if they're listening, but I'm thinking at the last second what they're gonna do is, right? They're waiting to see when Starfield is actually gonna release. Even though they've released the date, you'll never know what could happen, right? Are they gonna hold off at the last second? They're working on Spider-Man as far as they can get it.
Yeah, that's just delayed, though.
As soon as they get worried, I think it's gonna get delayed anyway. That's what I think. But I'm saying, I'm thinking maybe afterwards they'll just like all of a sudden release it.
Listen. Sony is holding off, right, to get those numbers up, right? Yeah, they're holding off to get those numbers up. You know why?
Exactly.
How much did God of War sell with the PS4 and PS5 combined? What, 11 mil?
11 mil, yeah.
Right. So now we're gonna remove the PS4 numbers away from there. How many you think Spider-Man 2 is gonna sell?
Maybe 7-8 million.
It'll probably do about, talking about initial.
Yeah, initially.
Well, I mean, let's just say if it makes September. or the first few weeks.
Now you think the 30 million out of the 30 what million?
Well, you gotta remember they're gonna bundle the hell out of it.
They're gonna bundle
the hell out of it.
Oh, we know that already.
It's gonna be all right.
Tony Todd tweet said they're gonna start like in August, like demoing it and like introducing it to the like marketing.
You know them tactics. You know them tactics.
Okay, but Resident. So wait, hold on.
But still,
they don't even have a pre-order page.
It's gonna sell less than God of War.
Hold on. So they said you're gonna start marketing in August.
That's what Candyman said. Yeah.
Why the hell they gonna market this shit in August? The game coming out September.
That's what he tweeted. That's
all we know. A showcase before that?
What did I say, J-Rock?
There's a showcase before August.
That's all I know.
I'm gonna say this. The problem is the movie, right? The movie has gotten in the way, right? So you gotta show the multiverse first. The multiverse is gonna get hyped to the video game, but the video game has nothing to do with the multiverse. I want that to sink down. I want that to sink real deep into y'all's minds right now.
Yeah, because Into the Spider-Verse, right, legal comes out in April or May,
in the same year, and neither one of them is talking about each other.
It's not a Spider-Verse game, is what he's saying. Right. Or the game is just regular Spider-Man. The movie is Spider-Verse, and they're not related at all. There's no integration. Like it's not a movie game. It's just another Spider-Man game independent.
Right. So you can't market both of them. You got to do one or the other because Sony is I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Sony is betting more on the movie money because it's Spider-Man.
I mean, you could cross-advertise. People watching the movie are going to want to all of a sudden play a Spider-Man game.
That's right.
So there's going to be a cross-pollination, but it's not going to be dedicated like it could have been and as big as if it was a Spider-Verse game. It's not a Spider-Verse game because if it was, we would have known that already.
Sick. Which one would you advertise? The one that's going to sell hundreds of millions of dollars for you, or the one you're going to get about 10 million out of it?
Come on, man! I'm gonna quote the prime time players. Millions of dollars.
Yeah, you're gonna go for the one that can hit at least $1 billion for you, right? So the movie is going to get more advertisement than the video game because why? The movie is continuing on with an experience that you're trying to reach for. It's a new movie. It's something you're trying to figure out. You got new Spider-Man variations out there on the movie, and you're like, yeah, this is new, right?
Going to be in 2 parts. There's like 2 parts to it, even.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. The Spider-Man game is the usual. What can they possibly do with Spider-Man and Miles Morales fighting Venom, right? You got to pick one. You got to pick if you're going to play Miles Morales.
Is there co-op in the game?
No co-op, right.
Do we know?
There's no co-op. There's no multiplayer. So we already know what's going to happen to Spider-Man in the first 2 weeks. Here's what it is. The first day, Twitch is going to blow up. They're going to talk about, all the people who are watching the game, right? It's going to be quiet. About the third day, they're going to tell you how many sales is going to drop, right?
Will they? Or is it going to be Horizon Forbidden West?
Right. The 4th day,
it's going to be Forbidden West. Unless it blows up, it's going to be like Forbidden West. Shut up about it and pack it in.
The 4th day, all the articles are going to do nothing but repeat the success. Now we're gonna go into the weekend, right? It's gonna be quiet.
Hold on. Let's cut it off. Which PlayStation only exclusive of theirs has sold over 10 mil? Wait.
Are you talking like initial sales or lifetime sales?
He's talking about initial
first
release.
Month, 2 months.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Right.
With Sony, it's all lifetime sales. You can't sit there and take them serious with the first week drop.
No, I'm talking about the GT7. GT7 is cross gen, right?
Yeah.
And that flop. Horizon Forbidden West cross gen, that flop. Let's see. Ratchet and Clank.
Not in a month. I think only. I don't know.
Ratchet and Clank.
Rift Apart.
What about Ratchet and Clank?
How much did it sell?
2 million.
I think between. Oh, was it that low? I thought it was between 5 and 10.
Oh, man says that low. Oh, shit.
1.1 million copies.
Hey, 2 million is good because they only had 10 million PlayStation. They didn't sell anymore after 10.
Returnal.
They had 120.
Yeah, the last number I saw was 596. Say it again.
Remember, the PlayStation 4 sold 125, right? 120 million units.
Ratchet was next gen only.
Yeah. So suddenly legal. You want me to believe that it's gonna sell enough for them to be advertising their numbers like that? I don't buy it. But let me ask you guys something.
If they
right?
sold 50 million copies, J-Rock, they need Call of Duty to fund their first party.
Facts. So let me ask you guys something. Why is it right? The media, the ones that keep telling us of all these great Sony studios, why is it 10 years is not enough?
Sony. Yeah.
Because they want all of them.
They have the greatest studios in gaming history, the most awards, the most sales, the most the most Keeley Awards.
Okay, right. What you saying basically,
but 10 years is not enough. But hold up, isn't Sony more talented than Epic Games?
Sony's got more, and they got more talented studios in the world.
They got more money than Epic Games, right?
But here's the thing, you see,
Epic Games has.
You see all these questions you asking. This is all stuff that Sony fanatics are saying. These are all the narratives that the ponies have been saying for years, right? And of all things,
so why can't Epic Games create Fortnite, but Sony can't?
Exactly. All these things, all these questions you could ask and more, right? They're all instantly destroyed because we have so much facts and the receipts that I talked about that we can ask these questions flat now, and now they cannot be ignored because there's too many things that don't fit, too many pieces to the puzzle that don't fit with Sony that constantly contradict themselves. SOCOM alone, a push with SOCOM, right? A proper one that's actually a solid game would do well, would answer exactly what they're complaining about. They don't need Call of Duty to actually compete, but they don't compete. So what they do is they lock out the competition with these exclusivity deals, right? They just push a narrative with the press, and this is where they're at now. But now this is all out in the open. They'll, of course, continue to act that way, but I feel this is going to have a knock. All these questions that you're asking, J-Rock, it just shows all these things, all these inconsistencies. There's so many of them.
I don't know if you've ever seen any interviews with Shigeru Miyamoto from Nintendo, but he's literally said in multiple interviews that Sony doesn't innovate or create; they follow trends.
Exactly.
And it shows like you see it, like you see it in the news, you see it in the direction they go with their gaming. Like now they're developing more than 10 different games as a service games. Because they're trying to look for other ways to gain revenue because their first party is not returning the investment that they want. They want more money, so that's why they're being greedy with Sony, because that Sony is like their blanket, right? Their comfort food, like their pillow that they hug at night, that they need, that keeps them safe and warm. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, it's really like that bad that they're like heavily relying on them.
So. And another advantage that they just lost, right? Or that Sony just lost, was today with the idea of Xbox anniversary. It made a couple of announcements about releases of physical copies of games, like reducing the minimum order price. Because a lot of these indies don't be making a lot of money, but you can't get them on an Xbox. Or sometimes at all, if any, right? So that's another chink in their armor that they've lost, because this was an indie advantage they had for a long time. Even though there's indies on Xbox, a lot of them would still be missing on Xbox. But even then, there are those people who want those physical.
That's the main complaint I've seen on Twitter, is people saying, or the indie developers saying that like there's too high of a
minimum price, so they're bringing that down.
Yep.
And so this is gonna, tie right in with this idea at Xbox. It's the reason why they announced that. It's just another example of Microsoft has been doing their homework. They have been competing for the past 20 years, right? with one arm tied behind their back.
Speak on it.
For not only because of the aftermath of the monopoly trials and all of that, right? The antitrust trials, right? And how they were trying to behave themselves and whatnot, right? There really has been a change. It's been 20 plus years. So it's very different Microsoft in terms of leadership, staff, everything else, right? And the way they work. But even then, there was an honor about it that Microsoft wasn't crossing certain lines. They weren't stepping over a line. Sony, on the other hand, are habitual line steppers. It was like the line never existed for them to do stuff that even Nintendo didn't do. And Nintendo's
too good for the lines.
This is where
they're too good for it.
This is where Sony learned that. Yeah, and it's true. This is where they learned that lesson from Nintendo. They're the OGs of this, but even they had limits of what they did. Sony doesn't, right? So now Microsoft is like, F it, yo. So what Satya said is true in so many ways. Yo, let them compete. Let there be competition then. You want to fight? Then let's go. Let's go. It's no more of just, playing the honorable game. There's still lines we're not going to cross because we don't need to. We outplayed. Look at all the complaints that Sony gave to the CMA. Microsoft has spun all of those into advantages. Okay, they're like, oh, other cloud platforms don't have access to Call of Duty. Okay, access to GeForce Now and all those other two services, and now Nintendo has access. For 10 years, Valve could have had the same, but they were like, nah, we good, we cool with them already. They're already putting their games on our platform. We know they ain't going to step the line. They operate by the codes, right? Unlike Sony, right? So they didn't need it, but they gave them the thumbs up as if they did. They got all the advantages without the contract, right? With Valve. The rest of the industry has no issue with it. It's just Sony, right? It just goes to show it all fits together. Like, Microsoft is learning their lessons. They're addressing their issues bit by bit. There's very little that Sony can do, but actually compete for
their
real.
Gaming
None of the
division
shenanigans. None of the shenanigans, all the BS they've been up to all these years is going to work for them anymore.
That's a fact.
Hey,
Sony running on all four flats now, baby.
Isn't their game
All
division
four
like their
flats.
most profitable division right now?
Yeah,
anyway?
it props up.
Worth?
It props up the whole company. It's been like that for years. Yeah.
Hey, so remember Ryan McCaffrey, right? JyzalGamingTV came out on the 5th.
That Centaur?
Yeah, the 5th on January 5th. There's only 5 days in the New Year's. This man had a big win. Said Xbox. Where's the games at Xbox? And you want to tell people that Xbox has no games? Give us like some gameplay of Starfield.
Microsoft was still on vacation, bro. It was like the second or third of
listen. Starfield, Redfall, and Minecraft and everything, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Sony said that Spiderman was coming in fall. We in March right now. We ain't seen that guy that one trailer. Okay.
We don't know anything about it.
We don't know anything about that. So
no confirmed date for a showcase, no nothing.
Oh no, if this game gets delayed, right? And I think it would, right? If this game does get delayed, right? The media gotta, what's the name? Jason Schreier, all these guys, right? Konaku, IGN, Polygon, etc. Right? They gotta keep that same energy.
You think the pony media is gonna keep the same energy games?
Paris, and I'm calling them out. Paris got to keep that same energy because that is his most hyped game this year. Because what shout out to JyzalGaming right here. JyzalGaming exposed that if Horizon, God of War, and go to what's the other one called God of War, right? Thank God these games got delayed. Like
they putting it all on JyzalGaming.
Yeah, because if these games didn't get delayed, JyzalGaming. Next year would be down bad for PlayStation.
Right. Okay. So let's say this, right? If those games didn't get delayed, which were Horizon Forbidden West, GT7, and Ragnarok, right? They were slated to be released in 2021, right? Those 3 games come out when they're supposed to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was Sony gonna release last year, and basically the whole year of this year?
Oh, The Last of Us remake and Uncharted remaster.
Hey, because
And a
look,
bunch
y'all keep saying that 2023 looking bad for PlayStation, right? What 24 looking like? Like Sony ain't got no first party coming
Oh
out
no,
in
they do.
24.
They do. Realist. They got the
Speak
Robin
on it.
game. No,
What?
realist. They got the Robin game from Kyo Techno. They got Stellar Blade. Yeah, I know they're not
None
first.
of that, and none of that first party. That's what I just said. So no,
Wolverine.
it's not
That's
first party
it.
because this is all that matters is first party, right?
No, but you can sit there and say Contraband is first party too. Because
That's
it
not
is.
no. That's published by Microsoft. So if you want to say that Stellar Blade is, but that's
No,
fine
no, we call in the industry we call it
because Stellar
second
Blade was
party.
supposed to be on Xbox.
I know, but yeah, but in realist in the industry we call it second party because a lot of Nintendo games ain't even made by Nintendo. Like,
The Stellar Blade was supposed to be on Xbox.
yeah, I know, but it's
Company couldn't get that game to the finish line.
Speak on it.
Sony came. Hold on, man. Sony came in and said, "Let us go
yeah,
ahead and help you get it to the finish line, but we got to publish it." So in
yeah,
order to get
I know you're
past,
talking about.
in order to get past calling it Project Eve, it was supposed to be on Xbox. They changed the name of it.
All right, but it's like Contraband, it's like Quantum Break. Like, I know they're not really.
That's not comparable, man.
Yeah, it's still first party because in the industry we call it second party.
Panel. I just wanted to, before I forget, a shout out to ID at Xbox for spending 10 years with Microsoft. And great news is what they stated that they have over 3,000 games in development, starting to get ready to go for us, your Xbox gamers.
Damn.
That's great news.
What does Sony have to say about that, right? While
Facts.
we're all in the back,
Crickets, bro.
uniting studios across Microsoft, getting all the teams revved up and good to go. These guys are being serious now. And then what these little centaurs, like you say, J-Rock, these little ponies, fuck are they gonna say? Excuse my line. What are they gonna say? Sitting there bragging about all three games that they sit there and repeatedly play and remakes and remasters. PlayStation 5 is a house of remakes and remasters, and that's it.
Hey, you notice there's no talk about that VR. What happened? They done painting the side of the mountains now.
VR is the real number one.
You imagine paying $550 to wash dishes? You don't wash dishes in real life.
Very familiar.
That's crazy.
This is like 20 years ago when the PSP came out, yo. When it first came out, hype, right? And then after that, for months, no software. Do anybody remember that, yo? This is that all over again.
Sick. I don't think you heard what I said. I said their wives can't get them to wash dishes. Their mothers can't get them to wash dishes. But they will spend $550 to wash dishes in VR. That's crazy.
They don't even spend $70 on games they cap for. What are you talking about?
Don't laugh, 117. Hold it in.
That's wild.
I can't help it. These guys
wild, right? It's wild.
Pornhub.
The house looking, the stables is looking a hot mess. Hay is everywhere. Sugar cubes is spilled in the corner, and
you see
them videos of
cockroaches in them PlayStations.
But here they want me to believe that they're enjoying their time spending with some headset, cleaning and washing dishes and setting plates up and doing scrabbles on walls. You crazy,
right? Xbox has no games.
Right,
taking
screenshots and tagging me on
you
that.
playing your PlayStation game, thinking about Xbox.
I spent $550 to tag me talking about Xbox has no game. Are you out of your mind?
Realist, I'm not gonna say nothing, y'all, but I saw somebody putting that VR on their face, man, bigging it all up just to find out they never played VR ever in their life. I ain't saying nobody's name though.
Oh man, hey, that's funny. Come on, legal.
I ain't saying nothing.
Hey, don't say it, man. That shit's funny as hell. That man never played a goddamn VR headset. He started reviewing on the YouTube channel.
Your games. I saw one with a broomstick on it, sitting down on the chair, just swinging it back. Talking about he kayaking.
Yo. So
this is what we doing.
Yo, man, you
hey, man,
crazy,
it's a good workout, J-Rock.
Oh man, hey, yeah, make you sweat. But listen, yo, I wanted to say this. This is just my opinion, right? But from what I've been seeing, right, since we're talking about VR, and I know y'all aren't generally big fans, whatever, but I am. But it's not about that. It's just Oculus, right? They announced something. I think it was last week about Game Pass on the Oculus, right? And Microsoft and Facebook have been very close since the very beginning of Facebook, right? So I'm starting to think, because they're when they made this announcement, they said there was going to be more in the future. I'm starting to think that the Quest 3 might be Xbox compatible. This would give you not only VR to the Xbox, but also wireless VR to the Xbox. And only if you want it, it's an optional thing, right? I see this being possible. If Game Pass is coming to the Quest 2 as we have it now, for the Quest 3 to have that, right, on the Xbox, that I don't know how potentially successful or not the PSVR 2 is. I'm not saying one or the other. I honestly don't know.
Yo,
right?
Sick, I got it. Look, there's nothing wrong with people coming to the Xbox community, right? We accept anybody until proven guilty, right? That's our problem. We just accept anybody, right?
Right.
So the one thing that I can see makes sense is make all the Oculus that isn't too old, right? Maybe like
the 2
this
and the
last
upcoming
variation
3.
and
Right.
the new one. Make it compatible to the Xbox, and you're gonna have a surge. Because what's gonna end up happening is, man, look, you don't play VR all day long. Everybody knows that.
Right.
VR is like Six Flags. You go, you get a good thrill ride, and guess what? It's time to go home, people. So if you make it compatible to Xbox, right? They playing on their VR. They want to connect it to the Xbox. Then eventually they start coming out, putting the headset down. I'm gonna try this Game Pass out. Because they evidently, right? You gotta get a subscription for Game Pass. Game Pass is universal. Once you get it, wherever it's compatible with, it'll work. Whatever.
And now the Quest is gonna be Game Pass compatible. That's a big deal. Big deal.
There you go.
Just announced that last week.
You're gonna get
more
people,
to come.
Right? You're gonna get people who may not have Xboxes to give Xbox a try now when they take the VR off their head. So that's
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Microsoft does not need to make a goddamn VR headset.
Right. Just make somebody else's compatible. That way they get the benefits without all the risk. Without the risk.
Yeah, like we don't want that crap. Like, right. But end of the day, man, like even Rita said it, like after Spiderman, like they don't have anything. So like if you want to count a Robin game for Kyo Techno, the same people who made Wudong, you could count that.
Game Serials, can you imagine having a PlayStation 5 in 2023, right? And it's going on 4 months, and you don't have no game to play.
Oh man, you down bad.
Can you imagine having a PlayStation 5 right now?
No, legal. Realist. No, not realist. Legal, right? They have games.
What is it?
They gonna play multiplayer. Come on, stop lying to yourself.
Well, look. Well, then if they're gonna play multiplayer, right?
Stop lying to yourself, dude.
Right. If what has been undercovered, right, the biggest myth ever got shambled, right? Just got destroyed, that because they got a big audience that they generate more revenue. That's been destroyed now. So now we know games that are smaller, devs thrive more on Xbox because why? Xbox fans play video games. We don't care if they're big. We don't care if they're small. If they have potential, we'll try them out. That's the greatness of the Xbox community.
Oh, we said we're not Metacritic gamers?
The PlayStation community.
Xbox gamers actually know that. We actually discuss games. Yo, did you try this?
Yo, shout out to Atomic Heart.
You're talking that in our party chats every day.
Hey, we're
all
digital
day, every
founder
day.
gamers.
High on life. High on life.
Right. Resident? Do people really think games, right? Realist, Spartan, Sick, Jay, do they think that I go look at John Linneman, right? Howard the Duck. They think I'm gonna go look at Howard the Duck, right?
Remember that?
I'll go to D-Backs instead. Thank you.
Look, that's not that. Listen, man.
And now hold on. What is the biggest game coming out this Friday?
Resident Evil 4, right?
All right, then. So Resident Evil 4, right?
Games, listen. Right? Hold your thought. We got this dude out here, right? Trying to balance beam the two games, the two differences, right? What's funny is he thinks that the little difference that PlayStation 5 may be holding right now on a remaster is going to stop me from playing on my Xbox. Like, bro, it's already been confirmed. Low resolution. Stop. If I told you, it's latency. PlayStation is still in that latency world where Xbox isn't. So, look, if you got to underperform something to make it overperform, then so be it. If that's your carrot, take your carrot. All I got to say is crank that thing up to 4K, put that thing at 60 frames per second, then come holler at us. That's not what the PlayStation 4 is doing. Holler at us when the PlayStation 5 can do that. For Resident Evil 4. When it can do that, then we can talk. We don't need Howard the Duck. We don't need Howard the Duck running no tests. We don't need none of that commercial Six Flagging for no console. Look, if you can't put 4K 60 on both platforms and you can't discuss the differences between the gameplay like that, I don't want to hear from him, bro. He over the flag.
But what's the resolution of Resident Evil 4 on Xbox? I don't really see it just in front of him. Is the Xbox version is dumbed down once again?
No, the Xbox version is superior in visual. You see what I'm saying? But this guy,
it's the typical Capcom. What they'll do to Xbox is they'll set the Xbox at a higher resolution than the PlayStation, so it might lose in a couple of frames, like 3 to 5 frames in frames per second. But you got to realize that the Xbox is running at a tier higher resolution, where the PlayStation might be 1440p and the Xbox is doing 1800p before they do their upscaling, right? So the Xbox is already doing more work, and then it loses 3 to 5 frames. It's the same equivalent when it's not the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did with Resident Evil 3. They did with Resident Evil 3 on the remake. On the Xbox One X version was a higher resolution, but the frame rate was dropped out like 40, 50 frames. And the PS4, but the PS4 version, the PS4 Pro was run on the low resolution instead of 60. So
right.
So what Capcom did was they load on the resolution of the Xbox to get the resolution, the frame rate
back then. But this time, what they've done is now they have a performance mode where you turn off the ray tracing, because the ray tracing, I'm a ray tracing proponent where everybody's knocking the game. I support it, but this is an example where they show a before and after. The ray tracing is almost non-existent, right? So when you turn that off, you put the performance mode, it locks on 60 frames on both systems, but the Xbox is running at a higher resolution by default. So Xbox gets the W versus that little win that they have on PlayStation, which isn't really a win when it's running at a lower, inconsistent resolution. It's still not even locked 60, so it's dropping frames too from time to time. So it's not like it's a win for Xbox overall. To be objective about it, but they're trying to, especially Digital Foundry. The way they like to present these little knickknacks about it, right? Whenever Xbox is clearly winning, unless it's a curb stop. If it's a curb stop, they'll give it to Xbox openly. If not, if it's a little wishy-washy like this, where there's a little bit of give and tug, right? They'll pretend like the Xbox advantage didn't matter, but the Xbox disadvantage did matter, but not call it out and just put the info out there and put their hands out like, oh, we didn't give you the ammo to start arguing about it online, right? So that's what they did again.
Smart dude. Sick, you're a smart dude, bro. Is the game out?
This Friday.
Is the game out?
This Friday. This Friday comes out.
So that means the game is not out yet, right?
Nope.
Look at this. Smart gamers don't pay attention to the quack. The game is not out. We're playing a demo. He's out here. This is the desperation attempt, right? Look,
exactly. It's all about the narrative. It's not about the specifics. It's about the narrative that they continue to claim they're winning in performance on all these other things.
Right.
John, so this is the narrative that they push.
You all. He can't save the platform. All right. He's trying, but he's gonna get an L at the end of the day. All right. The ABK deal is going. Everybody that hates Xbox is gonna catch an L. This dude has been caught over and over again talking down Xbox throughout history. He's cemented in the never forget moments. He can't come out of that. He can't come out of that. You got people
and the receipts are numerous
because they failed Killer Instinct. You can't come out of that. I know it hurts, but you can't come out of that. You gotta stay true to yourself. There's no reason to lie to your soul first and then open up your mouth and lie to the masses. See, when you say a lie, the first person that you lie to is yourself. When you tell the truth, the first person you talk to is yourself. You know if you know what you're saying or not. That shows
especially
character.
Worse with lies of omission, where it's not that you lie, you leave out important facts, right? That because you're leading people to believe one way or another. That's a form of lying too. And they do that a lot. That's a lie.
If I never experienced something sick and I come out and I speak on something I never experienced, I'm lying to you. That has nothing to do with facts. Because there's no facts, because I never did anything with what I'm saying is what I'm saying. Right? That'll be like me telling you things about VR, right? And I never owned one. I would be just lying to you. But you wouldn't know I wouldn't have one, right? Just based off the fact that I've gathered all this knowledge and I'm talking to you. You're not gonna question me because you oh man, Legal knows what he's talking about. But I can hide the fact that I really never played VR, right? That's what these dudes do. They get out here and they run their mouths, right? But they really don't have no salt and pepper in their game. They're just empty. They're just mouthpieces. And you got the wildebeest community that just
it's all about the narrative that they're all pushed together.
Right.
Because they're all saying the same thing. So you think it's the facts.
They don't want to, they can't go toe-to-toe with you. Realist, they can't go toe-to-toe with you. Spartan, they can't go toe-to-toe with you. Resonant, Games, Jay, they can't go toe-to-toe with y'all. So what they do is they keep these dumbass mascots out here to do the work. They know these dudes ain't legit, but hey, he's out here saying the narrative. Let's ride with him. As long as they talk down Xbox, let's ride with them. They some of the dumbest people to ever have a mic in their hands. You listen to them and you're like, who in the hell believes this shit, man? This is crazy stuff. Like, you can't really think that people really believe this nonsense. It's not. I don't think people are that dumb. Just like you got Puff the Magic Dragon out here, right? Bringing up a 6-month timed exclusive, right? Then his dumbass goes and shows Phil Spencer, right? Talking about how he's not in the business of directly keeping games off of platforms. Did y'all just hear what I just said? Now, you're smart, right? The game that I'm talking about is a lower tier game. Lower tier games don't just pop up in the industry, you dummy. They get funded. They get help. So whichever company that decides, hey, this game has potential to be showcased out here in the open into the world, we want to go meet the devs because we like their idea, right? They go talk to them. Or what do you think about putting your game on our platform? Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. Well, look, how about we put your game out on our platform for about 6 months? Then we after 6 months being on our platform, you can go on out to all the other platforms that you choose to desire. That's business, dumbass. That's not keeping games off a platform. That's business. So my thing is to you, Puffy, right? Your job is to stay dumb, right? Because your followers like your dumbness. They believe that what you say actually makes sense. But see, you're just doing it to be dumb, which is dumb. You're not dumb. We got you.
How do you know that?
5-6 years ago, because we
How
got
you
him.
know that? How you know
We
that?
got him 5-6 years ago. Talking with all kind of sense.
You ever heard de-evolution?
No. He
All
failed
right.
to himself.
That explains it then. You dumb.
He failed to himself. So you want to play yourself out now? That's a dumb act, right? You know how the businesses go. You know small games don't just pop up into the industry. That's not how it works. Ask Sony that. They charging people $25K, $15K to get their games on their platform. Everybody with a brain knows this stuff. Microsoft ain't keeping that game off other platforms. That's why it's called a timed exclusive. Dog, you can't even make this stupidity up. The dude was he made a post that was a walking contradiction. You would make more sense if the game was going to be totally exclusive on Xbox. Now you got a case. But even that wouldn't make sense because if Microsoft is going to fund it, Microsoft can do whatever they want to do. Just like that other game the dev said.
Well, only Sony can do that.
We want right. If it's Sony see, that's the thing. It's the narrative, right?
But they own the game. They don't have to.
Right.
They don't have to do anything.
If a dev comes out, Game Heroes, and says, "Listen, our game, we want to focus our game and just want to keep it on Xbox right now. We're not worrying about other platforms." I didn't see that same energy from him because he knows he can't make that. Nobody can make a dev put their game anywhere. He knows that. But let's play the dummy card today. And let's act like we don't really know what the hell's going on.
What's interesting is that they always want to keep Phil Spencer to his word, right? They want to quote Phil.
Right.
But never want to do the same with Jim Ryan. That goes for the industry as well, right? Because Jim Ryan said he's tired or he's disappointed that the best games they have a ceiling of 20 to 30 million. He feels the art should be enjoyed by many more.
J-Rock, what was his word?
So why don't you put them on every device available so you can reach that goal, Jimmy?
Right.
Why don't they hold him to his word when he said he believed in generations?
Hey, think about it, right? Now what? Okay, so
you remember when he tried to say he never said there will be a free upgrade path? When he was talking about Horizon Forbidden West?
I remember that.
Yeah. They cried about that though. I give them that. They didn't lay down and take that one.
Did they or did we do it for them?
Hey, but remember, right? Remember they said that. Remember they said that on the PS4
to make you go
back because that on the DLC for the Horizon couldn't do on the PS4. So think about it. Why you just put on the PC?
And then remember, right? He hid the upgrade path behind the app where you had to log into the app and do all these shenanigans to actually get it.
Oh my god! Yeah. And the one thing I'll give them credit
he made it crazy difficult to get the free upgrade, right? But it was just easier to just pay the $70, which is what he wanted.
And
then after that, he started crying. This is the last game we're doing it. I mean, like you said.
Oh yeah, see, that's exactly why he said the last game. Yep, the last game. Yep. And see, the one thing I'll give them credit for. Did you know with Sony, this is messed up. Let's say you buy a game digitally. Let's say you buy Street Fighter digitally. I don't know why you would buy it on disc. So this is a bad example of a game. But Resident Evil 4 on digitally, right? And then you go to GameStop. It's on sale a year and a half later for like $20 and you want to get a physical. Did you know you usually would have to reinstall the whole game? And I think even the saves wouldn't even transfer over because there was a whole new SKU completely separate. Or let's say you bought a game on disc and then you see it on sale digitally. You know, you buy it that way and you don't want to go trade in your disc to GameStop or sell it or give it away or whatever you want to do with it, right? You would have to reinstall the game completely over. They finally took that out last week, right? And it's funny that they do this right after all this, what J-Rock was talking about with Horizon. He literally promised that would have been the last game or whatever. It was that and another game that would get the update to be on PS5 for free. Because remember, they were doing a tax for that, right? $10 more. It didn't even matter if you had a PS4 version. There was no, you paid the $10 more. You had to buy a PS5 version completely all over again. There was no upgrade path. It was straight robbery. So that's
it's
so.
sick.
In case
Don't
y'all
forget
forgot
about the lawsuit they just lost.
Yup, that other lawsuit with them saying it. Yeah, like this is just ridiculous what they're saying. But hey, man, this is what I love about this whole situation with this deal. I know I know it's gonna pass anyway. I already know that, and like I said in the beginning, we see how long it's taking because that's what they said in the first place. They said it was gonna take this long. I hope everybody remembers that, by the way, right? But like, meanwhile, all the receipts we finally got for so many things. Not that we needed them, but we have them now. We have them now, and it can't be dismissed when you mention these things, right? So many receipts about so many things, practices, like the opinions of the rest of the publishing community and what they think about Sony and their practices. We got to see what they think about them without their names being redacted and stuff. And for a couple of them, you can kind of figure them out, right? There's a lot of debate on that, but Sony is feared, not loved. I want to make that distinction once again. Sony is feared, not loved. They have their foot on the necks of these other publishers out here, and they can't do nothing against them. It seems like.
I mean, so did Nintendo back in the 90s. But
exactly. Once again, that's who they learned it from. I said that before. That's who they learned that from. Because remember what Nintendo did to them, and it was payback time. And thus the PlayStation, right? Yeah. That's the history, right? So trust me, Sony knows that lesson very well, J-Rock. This is very true. But it just goes to show, like, everything we know about them.
You couldn't even put your games in certain stores.
Yeah.
If you wasn't rocking with Nintendo.
Yeah. So
you could seal of approval.
Yep. Nintendo was like, yo, you carrying the competitors?
Yeah. Nah. You couldn't do that. Right. This is why a lot of the games that were on Sega from Capcom and others were reprogrammed by Sega, would say that at the bottom, because Sega did the work themselves. That's the only way they were able to get around that. But back on topic, like, this is how Sony learned to do it. But now with all these receipts, you see it now. And now people have the realization that the rest of the industry has no love for Sony. I'm not saying they have love for Microsoft, but they're a lot happier with a lot of the practices that Microsoft has, right? And the way they conduct themselves in this industry. I'm not saying they're loved, but they're at least not disrespected. Indeed, I feel they are respected for the way they carry and conduct themselves. But
I totally agree.
It's a different time, though.
I totally agree. And for once, Microsoft is showing the whole world that Sony's an artist now, not a record label. We ain't signing no damn
I think you
contract.
said that backwards.
You gonna
I think
sign
you said
the
that
contract.
backwards. I think you said that
backwards.
No,
no, he said it right.
No, I said it right.
I don't get it then.
Sony's got to sign that damn contract now.
Oh,
they the artists.
No, man, that means that Microsoft is Jay Jerky niggas, man.
Nah, man, Sony don't see no damn contract. Just take your lazy ass.
Microsoft is Jay Princeton out here.
No. Sony does not. Sony does not need to sign a contract. Take your damn lazy ass. Go down to Naughty Dog. Scrap The Last of Us Part 3. Nobody want that crap. And reboot Killzone or Resistance, dude. So that's what you need to do. Is stop whining. The real PlayStation fan base, they want Resistance, they want Killzone, what's the name? PlayStation.
No, you said it right. They want Starfield too.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, they want they want Starfield. Oh, wait, J-Rod. They say that there's a rumor going on that Cory Barlog new IP is a sci-fi game, right? So if these dudes
they've been saying it ever since they heard the Starfield was exclusive.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Yeah, that's not true. So take your lazy ass and just make your own crap. Cause think about it, realist. All right, if the deal goes through, Microsoft saying, hey, they can tear up the deal because they own the damn game. They're like, they don't have to. Minecraft makes sense because Minecraft was original on PC, right? They built on the 360, the PS3, the Wii, whatever, right? So Minecraft makes sense. Call of Duty doesn't because they own the game. All right. Microsoft said, listen, we could do the hell we want with it. All right. They went to Nintendo. Nintendo accepted the deal. They went to NVIDIA. They said they accept the deal. They went to all these, companies. They accept the deal, right? All right. Jim Ryan admits that. Oh, look, we don't care about Call of Duty. We don't want the deal to happen. That's it.
Big on it.
So if you don't care, why you just make your own shit? But see, that's why I agree with realists. Because think about it, right? The last generation, they made these third-person over-the-shoulder games, right? They should have at least made 1 or 2 or 3 first-person shooter or multiplayer, giving these 360 idiots who switched to the PS4 to actually experience some of the multiplayer games they had during the PS3 era. Try, all right? Yes, it's not better than Halo and Gears, whatever, but it's still, they were all right. Like Killzone was bad, but I think Resistance was a better game. But it doesn't matter how bad or good these games are. They should at least reboot some of these games, like 1 or 2 of these games, and give them their fan base some little option. They didn't do that.
Okay, gangs, girls, we're gonna do it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
All you Xbox dudes, all y'all play is Forza, Halo, Gears of War, Fable. That's all y'all play, right? Okay. They act like they don't have no cornerstone games, all right? It doesn't apply to them. But last time I checked, all y'all play is Uncharted, Last of Us, Gran Turismo, and God of War. Last time we checked. So if we really want to go to war, right? If we really want to have a console war, right? It's the Xbox has already won because we got Grounded, Flight Simulator, Redfall,
Sea of Thieves,
Starfield, Sea of Thieves. Look at all these games. State of Decay. You see what I'm saying? All these new experiences. We got Hellblade 2. What else? What else?
Age of Empires.
There you go. Art 2.
Perfect Dark.
Dude, we done got to 10 games on Indiana Jones.
Avowed.
Banjo-Kazooie rumored.
Man, keep
Spyro
going.
the Dragon.
Killer
Call of
Instinct.
Duty.
Right.
Diablo.
World
of Warcraft.
Quake. Right.
Elder Scrolls, Starfield, Rage.
Exactly. We got
Prey.
So we come up off our foundation, right?
I was gonna keep going.
Come up our cornerstone.
Evil Within.
Exactly.
Facts.
It's not even a shot in hell. You don't even have a shot in hell. So this is why I've been laughing the whole time. So the revelation is coming.
Hey, yo, that next Doom be exclusive.
Yup, Quake 2.
Yep.
Right. The only thing we're watching right now is just
Outer Worlds.
That's all you're watching. You're watching these grown-ass people cry like little kids, bro. Have fun watching. Have fun watching this. Because they're going to stop crying soon. They're going to get it together and they got to make a grown decision, right? Am I going to sit on this platform that gives me remasters, remakes, and the same shit, right? That I used to talk about the Xbox fans. But when I look over at the Xbox fans, they playing all the games everybody's talking about. See, ain't nobody gonna be talking about these Sony games in a little bit. Just give it a little bit, y'all. All this excitement about Sony finna go down in the toilet. Just, hey, truth of the feelings of just letting y'all know. All right? Ain't nobody can save you. From John Linneman all the way to Ron McAfee. Line them all up. Then not one of them can save you from this. All right? This Game Pass is gonna blow up. Game Pass is gonna become the Netflix
True
of games.
Crimes prototype.
All them games, bro.
Yo, legal. Read that super chat.
What? Oh, I just saw. Damn, my man from the west, my brother from the west side, showing love today. Man, my man, aka Brooklyn Lawyer, aka the Forza Legend, and I dare anybody to get on Forza and want to go battle my dude, because I battled him. Golly.
You better be good with that name.
That's a battle right there, bro.
Crash Bandicoot.
Forza Legend, my man. On God, I will punch a pony in his face.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
The God
We do not advocate violence.
Forza King is here. JyzalGaming was good. New Legal was good, friend. You good. Stay blessed and keep it Xbox always, my man. I already know. That's my brother right there, man.
That's my brother. He one of the green folk out here.
Oh, bro. Look.
That's right. I mess with your green folk. You know this.
Right. That's my green folk. That's true. That's my green folk right there. Much love. I appreciate you, brother. West Side. Yeah, man, it's true. It's
what's say on God.
It's on God.
DLC.
Oh God, I will punch a pony in it, man. Boy, it's stupid, bro.
Yo, I don't advocate no violence. No violence. No violence.
Yo, Forza, reach out to me. I want to do the same thing too. Let's get together and start traveling the UK first.
You stupid boy.
That's right.
Nobody's getting in the MMA ring with my man Spartan 117. Nobody. You might have a bad back, but my boy's gonna make you tap out. Period. You donkeys don't want none of the two-time champion out here. I'm giving love to my man Spartan right now. Two-time champion. Canadian bread right there, baby.
We got these ponies ain't got no breathing room anymore. They've got no space to play with anymore.
Shout out to my girl Lulu, yo, putting the pressure on these media outlets.
Yeah, Lulu's dropping that.
Lulu's the queen of truth.
She hitting them like Chung Lee.
Right. Like Lulu got funeral services just left and right every day.
Body bags.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the women out there that put in that work, like Andrea. Lulu. We don't have that many, but boy, I tell you, when they come around that block, they come with a big stick. Man, they don't care. They just laying people out left and right, early and late. I bet I get on there right now, Andrea, and I already put up a post. I already got about 50 donkeys hating on her post right now. There's right now. It's crazy out here. Shout outs to my girl, Dirt from the West Side, too. I don't hear from her as much, but I know she's out there. I've been seeing you putting likes on my post. It's good to see you out there, girl. Shout out to Day up in here that be representing the chit chat community. All the females, Rogue Enigma, all y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know who y'all are. If y'all ever cross paths with me, I ain't got nothing but roses for you, nothing but love. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. Don't take your boxing gloves off. Xbox community, kick them when they down. We don't care no more. Our time is here. We are here, people. All the centaurs. Look at all these double agents, JyzalGaming, that want to get a Halo Tonight show. All of a sudden, they got Halo in their mouth when it was just a week ago. They were talking about Halo was dead.
It was dead. Hey, man, the game was dead, man. Hey, look, man, I'm playing the game sometimes. The game is fun. If the game was so dead, why people still playing the game?
If people can come out and act stupid all day, and y'all vouch for them, the legal's going to come out and have fun one day with all of them who act stupid. Can't get mad at me. I'm just out here to have fun with them. If they want to come out here and be stupid every day, and y'all all right with that, then y'all should be all right with me when Judgment Day comes. Because it's coming. It's coming. This year, don't worry, this year, there's going to be a lot of people in line. Got to question them. Whether you answer or not, that's up to y'all. But everybody's going to get a chance to see just what y'all are made of. When you're not hiding behind a stupid ass microphone. When we got y'all exposed, because y'all been doing beautiful work out here. We see beautiful work.
Now, Games, let me ask you, right? They say Halo's dead, right?
Yeah.
But compared to what? Like
Battlefield?
What other first person shooter, console shooter out there is doing better?
Right. What first person console shooter has made it to
Remember the curse of the Halo killer. And every and any game that put that title, picked up that crown,
the only games beating Halo is games on all console, all platforms, and on PC, right?
Pretty much.
Battlefield's dead. Call of Duty's garbage. So if you tell me another, listen, man, if you tell another first-person shooter game on console, I will play. I ain't playing no damn Overwatch. So I'm sorry. So
yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah, it's sick. Hey, come off that cornerstone.
It's all first party.
We got a whole bunch of skyscrapers out here. You go to Sony Land, you got a bunch of cottages. You think it's damn Lord of the Rings out there. What the hell is this? No, you think it's the Smurfs when you step over there in Sony Land. Come over to Xbox, you got skyscrapers. You're like, damn, look at all these games. Sony just giving you bird feed. That's what they're giving you. Look, my man, look, like any Brooklyn Knight, right? Like any real Xbox gamer, they're gonna drop them daggum tags, tell you go up, roll up on Force. I dare any of y'all. Go at my man Brooklyn Lawler. Good luck. Because I've done it. Boy, I've done it. I don't know how he does it. Do you? Bro, I think he's got a setup. He's got a racing setup. He played Force on that. I don't know, but his cars, his racing be so accurate. It's unbelievable, man. Good talent out there, man. And he reps Forza all day long. You don't care if you don't like it or not. All day long. I told him, Brooklyn Lawler, they didn't believe in me. But he said
right, Other Zinc. That's right, Other Zinc. Hayes, Mag, Killzone, the original.
All dead.
Resistance, SOCOM, all dead. Every game that claims to be a Halo killer died.
Right.
All of them.
So they want to go up
without
the
fail,
right
without fail.
We got some Forza killers too, all dead. We got Drive Club. We got one that's a zombie right now.
This is facts. This is facts. Yep.
This is facts.
Except for Gran Turismo, though.
Yeah, Gran Turismo's a zombie. He ain't fully dead yet. He just walking around.
Undead.
Right, he's yeah, he's undead. Yeah, he's undead right now.
Wait, you say Drive Club? The same studio like Sony's shut down the studio a year later.
Facts.
They're shutting down in the studio, dude. That's good. Hey, it's funny. Facts. That studio is making dirt. They work with Codemasters.
Motorstorm, dead.
Motorstorm, that's another dead.
Yeah. That's Evolution Studio. They're all making dirt.
What, Twisted Metal too? You gonna talk about Twisted Metal too? Dang, man.
Dead again. It rose from the dead to die again in HD.
Hey, the last Twisted Metal game came out what? 2012.
How about that Forza Killer Drive Club?
Dead in the first year, I think it was.
Right? Yeah, we said that, man. They shut down the studio on JyzalGamingTV.
What was that outlet that said that VG 24/7?
Yeah, VG 24/7.
They don't participate in console wars. What they talking about, killers? Are you supposed to enjoy every game?
Exactly, man. Look, y'all doing a bad job out here, but I want to salute Six Slayer for all the hard work off the show. Spark 117 for all your hard work off the show. The Realest One, all your hard work off the show. Games Heroes, all your hard work off the show. JyzalGamingTV, all your hard work off the show. Resident Gamer, all your hard work off the show. All of us work. We work hard, but we love to come here, form up every now and then. We get squeezed JyzalGaming in it because he's the last testament. We can't ever get him in because he's always working late. If it ain't JyzalGaming, it's Games Heroes working overtime. If it ain't Games Heroes, it's Realest on the road for 4 days out. The only two people I guarantee I call Six Slayer, he's there. If I call Spartan, he's there because they crazy. I don't know two other people that can talk gaming Monday through Sunday. These dudes talk gaming all day long. They don't ever stop. These are gamers. These dudes talk gaming all day long. All day long. But let me tell y'all something. I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for Teknoblast. Y'all check out Teknoblast channel over there on the ones and twos, starring Six Slayer and the Realist every Thursday night. Six Slayer and Realist over there accompanying him. He just came back from skiing or doing some crazy stuff. We don't know. Floating off a mountain. We don't know.
What the hell?
Yeah, he was. I don't know what he was doing. He was doing something. I don't know. You all know.
Don't let it fool you. He was on that bunny trail.
Yeah. Yo, Ren, nice to have you. Ren, make yourself at home. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. Subscribe to the channel. Make yourself at home, man. Nice to have you. Come on in. Even though the show is about to end, but come on in. Yo, I gotta say, shout out to my man, Force a Legend tonight. Putting it down upon the crown. My man shows violence tonight. We got to stay away from the violence. But Force a Legend said, the hell with that. I will get on upon you.
He said you lay the smack down.
Put the smack down. Yo, shout out to the Chit Chat community. Every last one of y'all that comes in and gives support. We want to say thanks to all of y'all. Shouts to our own Fireballs tonight for being up in the chat, representing South Carolina in the building. Yo, shouts to everybody, man. We just want to say shout out to Jeremy Merchant, man. All the way across the world. Force a Legend in here showing out tonight. Most slept on game is State of Decay 2. I love it. Exactly. I was a king on that one. Yo, shout out to the whole Xbox community and people in the State of Decay community for blowing up my channel. Without State of Decay 2, there wouldn't be no Di-RRec gaming. And that's word. That's word on my mama.
Mother.
On my mother. That's word on my mother. State of Decay 2 will always be special to me, man. Because that game made my channel, bro. Shouts to Goofy and shouts to my man Ziggy Stardust for being a part of those shows with me. Shouts to Crazy Ziggy representing Minnesota up there in the cold. He don't know what it is to be warm. Ziggy's messed up because he's always in the cold. I just talked to Ziggy the other day, man, about Resident Evil. That's a Resident Evil king. We got people out here in our community.
Yo, the homie Smitty Smith, Rain G4.
Oh, man, you are.
I don't want to say too many more names because I'm going to leave some out and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do
all y'all. That's why I said we love all y'all. Smitty Smith with the Book of X. We can never forget about Smitty Smith. He gave us the Book of X. He gave it to us. Yo, there's no bigger honor than to get a second copy of the Book of X. Nobody has a second copy, bro. We got it. Shouts to all y'all, man. Shouts to all y'all for real. We're going to get out of here. Always remember, y'all know what I'm going to say. Come on, y'all. This is the Xbox community, so we keep it gaming. It's all we can do. That's all we know how to do. This community was built upon gaming. It's all we know how to do. All we know how to do. Be a part of, look, we're going to take them to church. If you want to be a part of the Xbox community, step forth today. Really? Come step forth today. And if you want to be a part of this beautiful community, come in, get your Xbox, subscribe to Game Pass, $9.99 or $14.99, and we will welcome you into the fold. We will welcome you into the fold. We don't care where you come from. That's our weakness. We accept anybody. Come on in here to the Xbox community, y'all.
You gotta stop lying to these people. I don't accept ponies.
Oh yeah, GT.
I'm like Force a Legend, man.
Gran Turismo is a zombie. He just be walking around, bro. They be just driving dead cars. Dead cars. What do you say? Di-RRec Gaming, keep the book of X away from these frauds. Facts, Vodka. If the Book of X gets out there, Vodka, go reclaim it, baby. Transform. Other Zinc, we will be in trouble without the Book of X. Excellent. Exactly. The book of look, no, you know what, Vodka? The book of Acts won't allow itself to be in fraud's hands. It will disintegrate them. It's too holy. They can't come upon it with their flesh. With their donkey flesh, right? He goes, with their donkey flesh, it won't allow them. They die on spot, bro. They can't touch it. Yo, remember, always chase the extra man in life. And that's what's real. Don't let nobody ever take your extra man. No matter who you are, the beauty of life is if you get a second chance to make things right, make it right. We out of here tonight, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. This is the new legal. Represent Di-RRec Gaming. Six Slayer, Spar 117, the realest one, Game Shield, J-Rock, Resident Gamer. We out of here. Peace.
Jeez. I think Resident Gamer went to sleep.